So in a garage, there are 46 cars and motorbikes. There are 116 wheels in total. How many cars are there? Okay, so by looking at this question, we have two information over here. So the first information that we are provided with is the total vehicles. Okay, so do take note that this 46 refers to both the cars as well as the motorbikes. All right, so do not think that the 46 is just for the cars. If 46 is just for the cars, they would have inserted a word here that says and some motorbikes. Okay, so 46 cars and motorbikes is the total vehicles. Now, another information we are provided with is the total number of wheels. Okay, so 116 wheels. All right. So one thing to think about is that out of this total 46 vehicles, okay, a question to ask yourself is, do we know how many of them are the cars? Okay, so I believe the answer is no. Do we know out of the 46, how many are motorbikes? We do not know that as well. Okay, so things get a bit more challenging here. We have no idea of how many cars and motorbikes individually. Same for the 116 wheels, okay? Ask ourselves, do we know out of the 116 wheels, any idea how many wheels belong to the cars? We do not know, okay? And how many wheels belong to the motorbikes? We do not know as well. So then you have of course, two methods comes in. Okay, one of the methods is you can use guess and check. The other method that I will introduce you today is called supposition method, okay? Which is also known as assumption. All right, so this method is a much more useful method as compared to using your guess and check or trial and error. All right, and we shall take a look at how we are going to apply this supposition method. Now, so the first thing to begin with is if the question asks you for how many cars, okay, you first suppose the other item. That means you suppose all the 46 vehicles are the other item. That means not cars. So of course, in this case, all 46, you suppose they are motorbikes. So that will be the first statement that we have to pen it down. Suppose all are motorbikes. So you will see why later at the end of the question, you will see why I say suppose all are motorbikes first. Now, for those of you who do not know the meaning of the word suppose means to pretend all 46 are motorbikes now, or to imagine all are motorbikes. Okay, so that means I have 0 cars and 46 motorbikes now. Now we're going to draw a diagram. Okay, now I'm not going to draw 46 motorbikes, definitely. Okay, so we're just going to draw maybe one or two, or maybe just one more, it's fine. So you can just put 2 motorbikes. Now you do not have to draw fanciful drawings like that. Just put a circle with a M, okay? Just something like that is sufficient, huh? So like M, then circle, M, a circle, something like that, okay? So I'll just erase this so you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so all this, when I put ... means many, many more motorbikes. All this will be your 46 motorbikes now. Okay, you pretend there are 46 motorbikes now. Now, when I pretend there are 46 motorbikes, I will first be interested in finding out what is the total number of wheels in this diagram. Okay, so that's my next thing I will write down, total wheels. So of course, I hope you know that a motorbike has 2 wheels. So if you have 46 motorbikes, simply 46 multiplied that 2 wheels. Okay, so that will be 92 wheels in total over here. So once you know there are 92 wheels, it'll be good to write it down here. Okay, so that means there are 92 wheels here. Now, but thinking back about the information of wheels provided from the question, 116 wheels. Okay, ask yourself, this 92 wheels, is it like the real number of wheels that exists in this situation? Is it the actual number of wheels? Okay, so I hope you can see that no, this is not the actual number of wheels, yeah, because the real number of wheels that we should try to hit is 116 wheels. Okay, so that means looking at our pretend situation, our 92 wheels currently is not enough. It's too little. Okay, so I need to try to bring in more wheels into this diagram so that I can hit 116 wheels. Okay, that means I need to find out how many more extra wheels to bring into this diagram. Okay, so that will be our next step. We call that extra. So if you would like to add in the word extra wheels, okay, go ahead in your labeling here. All right, so how many extra wheels to bring in? Simply take 116, you subtract away 92 wheels. The 92 is the current pretend ones. I need to bring more wheels, right? So that's why you subtract 116 minus 92. Okay, that'll be 24, which means that in this diagram, I need to bring in another 24 more wheels. So please write this down as well. Need 24 more wheels, or you can say need to bring in 24 more wheels. Okay, it's fine. Now let's think about this 24 more wheels, okay? How are we going to bring in 24 more wheels? Okay, am I going to bring in more motorbikes? Am I going to bring in more cars into this diagram? Okay, now think about that. Yes, if you bring more cars and more motorbikes, I agree, we will be able to achieve this. We will be able to achieve the introduction of 24 wheels. Now, however, don't forget we have a condition here, and our condition is that we need to keep the total vehicles as 46. Okay, so we have a problem, yeah? If let's say you were to bring in more motorbikes, you bring more cars, your 46 will no longer be 46 anymore. It will become more and more, maybe 47, 48, or even way more than 46. Okay, which cannot happen. So we have to stick to this limitation, but yet we need to be able to bring more wheels without changing the number of vehicles. Okay, so we need to re-look at another way to achieve that. And to do that, we can actually exchange our existing motorbikes to cars. Because by doing an exchange from motorbike to car, that's how we achieve an increase in the number of wheels. Because cars, of course, have more wheels than a motorbike. Okay, so we are going to show one exchange. Now, how to show one exchange? So you simply strike off a motorbike and you replace it with a car. Okay, so students, when you do the replacement or do the exchange, please you don't have to draw out a car and a motorbike. Just put a C and circle it, okay, to represent a car alone. Okay, so you have a car here. Now, and in this one exchange, let's think about what is the increase in the number of wheels. So from a two-wheel vehicle, I replace it with a four-wheel vehicle now. Okay, so I hope you can see that every exchange, I managed to increase by 2 wheels, because from 2 to 4 wheels, it's an increase of 2. And of course, we have to show the step how to get this 2. Simply 4 minus 2. That means the difference between a car and a motorbike wheels. Okay, so all this thing has to be illustrated here for you to understand better your logic behind every step. Okay, so every exchange leads to an increase of 2 wheels. Now, remember back to our target here. We need to achieve 24 more wheels. Every exchange only allows me to increase by 2 wheels. So definitely one exchange is not enough. Okay, so of course, our next step is to find out how many exchanges is required for me to achieve 24 more wheels. Okay, so we need to look at these two values, of course, the 24 more and the 2, to work out our number of exchanges. So every exchange increased by 2. If I have 2 exchanges, there will be an increase of 4 wheels. If I have 3 exchanges, there will be an increase of 6 wheels. So as you can see, this will go on and on, multiples of 2 wheels. It will go on and on until you have an increment of 24 wheels. Okay, so to do that, to find out how many exchanges, we have to take 24 divided by 2. That means the total wheels to bring in divided by the wheels that have been brought in one exchange. All right, and that will be 12 exchanges required. Now, when I say I have 12 exchanges, okay, so I need to exchange 12 motorbikes to cars. So what does that mean? When they ask how many cars are there? So when I have 12 exchanges, it means that all 12 exchanges leads to 12 cars, right? Because every exchange, I end up with a car. Okay, so that will be my answer. So as you can see, back to my point as to why we suppose all the vehicles to be the other item instead of what the question wants, because that will lead you to having the other item, that will lead you to having what the question wants, in your very final last step. So you just imagine, let's say you suppose all are cars instead. Then your number of exchanges here will lead you to getting number of motorbikes. Now that will be fine as well, just that you have to do one more step. You have to take your 46 minus your motorbikes to get your car's answer. Okay, so that works as well. But of course, generally, we try to remember this, suppose the other item instead, as to what the question wants. All right.